Hi, my name is Dr. Debarati Haldar, and in today's video session, I'm going to discuss as how the law students can create a free legal aid clinic, and also how the private law schools or any other university or law schools, they can create a free legal aid clinic that would be attached with the law schools. So, in this video, I'm going to discuss as what are the eligibility, what are the qualifications, etc. that are needed for becoming a paralegal volunteer in India. Whether as a law student, one individual can become a paralegal volunteer, or whether it is necessary for having a law degree to become a paralegal volunteer, etc. That I'm going to discuss in today's video session. The first thing which we need to understand is what is the meaning of easy access to justice. If we see Article 39A of the Constitution in India, we would see that this particular provision provides for free legal aid to the poor and weaker sections of the society, and it ensures justice for all. Article 39A of the Constitution of India is a part of the directive principles of state policy. As you can see in the chart here, legal aid clinics can be set up in the hospitals, in the colleges, including law colleges. Legal aid clinic or free legal aid clinic is a mandatory setup for the jails, and also it can be set up in the village block offices. Legal aid clinics or free legal aid clinics can be set up under the provisions of National Legal Services Authority Legal Aid Clinics Scheme 2010. This has been adopted in the meeting of the Central Authority of NALSA that was held on 8 December 2010 at the Supreme Court of India. The three main issues that were discussed under this scheme were setting up of legal aid clinics for easy access for all, the infrastructure for the free legal aid clinics, and the eligibility of the paralegal volunteers. The main aim of the National Legal Services Authority Legal Aid Clinics schemes is to provide an inexpensive local machinery for rendering legal services of basic nature. What is this legal service, or what are these legal services? For example, providing legal advice, drafting of petitions, drafting of notices, replies to those notices or any notice, for example, applications and other documents of legal importance, and also for providing for resolving of the disputes of the local people by making the parties to see reason and thereby preventing the disputes reaching to the courts. In short, the National Legal Services Authority Legal Aid Clinics also advocate for setting up of some kind of local ADR mechanism in the free legal aid clinics, and that should be executed or that should be monitored by the panel advocates. Obviously, we do get to see that when the cases become heavier or when the cases need to be reaching to the proper courts, in such cases, the panel advocate must provide guidance to the parties to reach out to the nearest DLSA, that is District Legal Services Authority, or the Taluk Legal Services Authority, and it can also be seen that this particular case can also be taken up by the DLSA or the Taluk Legal Services Authority or the State Legal Services Authority in cases the parties may need proper help from such DLSA or SLSA, especially for the panel advocates or especially for getting some more help from the paralegal volunteers or free legal services. The essential question that may be asked in this regard is, what should be the infrastructure of such free legal aid clinics and where such kinds of free legal aid clinics should be established? The scheme says that such free legal aid schemes can be established or can be created at a place where the people in the locality can easily access such legal services, that is, free legal services. A room within the office building of the local body institutions like the village panchayat, etc., shall be ideal, especially when such kind of free legal aid clinic is going to be established in a village or in a block of villages. Local body institutions like village panchayat, block panchayat, municipality, corporation, etc., should also provide room for the functioning of the legal aid clinic. Such kinds of legal aid clinics must have signboards, both in English as well as in the local language. Such signboards must depict the name of the legal aid clinic, the working hours, the days on which the clinic is working, etc. The elected representatives of the local body institutions should basically share messages, share information about the utility of the legal aid clinic to the people in his or her constituency. The scheme further says every legal aid clinic shall have at least the basic essential furnitures. These include a table and 3 or 4 chairs for letting the beneficiaries sit, for the panel advocate, for the paralegal volunteers, etc. This scheme mandates that such kinds of sitting arrangements must be there so that both the beneficiaries and the advocates or the paralegal volunteers can have a comfortable counseling or can have a comfortable communication so that proper resolution can be reached at. The district legal services authorities shall establish legal aid clinics in all the villages or for cluster of villages depending upon the size of such villages, especially where the people face geographical, social or other barriers for access to the legal services institutions. The scheme further says every legal aid clinic shall have 1 or more paralegal volunteers available during the working hours of such legal aid clinics. Subject to the local requirements, the DLSA may also decide the frequency of lawyers' visit in the legal aid clinics. It can be thrice a week or it can be twice a week or it can be even once a week, but such lawyers must visit the legal aid clinics and these lawyers must come from the panel of advocates that have been created by the DLSA. If the situation demands for providing continual legal services, the DLSA may also consider arranging for more frequent visits of the lawyer in the legal aid clinic. Now, we would discuss about the panel advocates for the legal aid clinic and his or her responsibilities. The scheme says that the nearest legal services institution, which can be either the Taluk Legal Services Authority or the District Legal Services Authority, etc., which has territorial jurisdiction, may maintain a panel of lawyers, preferably from the local bar. The lawyers may be deputed to the legal aid clinic on a rotation basis. Generally, the tenure of these lawyers may be fixed by the DLSA itself. If the matter handled by a lawyer requires follow-up and continuous attention for a long duration, that same lawyer who had handled the matter may be entrusted to continue the legal services, especially for that particular case. From the practical side, we would also understand that if a particular beneficiary has already communicated with one particular lawyer who is a panel advocate and who had been handling such cases, the beneficiary may feel more comfortable to continue to speak or to get some counseling from that particular lawyer. It is for this very reason that this provision has been inserted in the scheme, which says that the lawyer can carry on handling the particular matter. If the lawyer in the legal aid clinic feels that the dispute between two locally available parties can be resolved through proper advice or by employing ADR techniques, he or she shall make efforts to do so without permitting the dispute maturing into litigation, which means that he or she should see that the dispute should be resolved in the pre-trial or pre-court or pre-litigation stage. In appropriate cases, the lawyers may also request the nearest DLSA or the Taluk Service Authority to refer the dispute to the local Lok Adalat for a pre-litigation settlement. In such cases, the lawyers rendering legal services in the legal aid clinic shall ensure that the procedure prescribed in subsection 2 of section 20 of the Legal Services Authorities Act is complied with. The nearest legal services institution having territorial jurisdiction or the DLSA may also organize Lok Adalat at the legal aid clinic or near to its premises, especially for the benefit of the beneficiaries. However, that particular date, etc., or the place, etc., must be stated or must be shared with all the beneficiaries, with all the officials, etc., of the village block development office, etc., must be shared beforehand so that the beneficiaries would come to know when the Lok Adalat is being held at. The lawyer rendering legal services in the legal aid clinic is also duty bound to request the DLSA to send mobile Lok Adalat van when it is necessary. And such mobile Lok Adalat van can also come with the members of the Lok Adalat bench for visiting the legal aid clinic for settling the disputes identified by the said lawyer. There is one more usefulness of such mobile Lok Adalat van, which can be used for the legal services to the mentally ill persons and also to children. Now we will discuss about the paralegal volunteers. Who can be the paralegal volunteers? What is their eligibility, etc. The scheme very clearly says, and also the Legal Services Authorities Act touches upon this issue. It says that individuals above 18 may be selected as paralegal volunteers based on their interest in social causes. It does not necessarily indicate from which study stream they should come. Paralegal volunteers can come from any study stream. For example, they can be science students, they can be art students, they can be law students, etc. But that particular candidate should be above 18 and they should have some kind of interest in social cause. Paralegal volunteers or PLVs selected and trained by the legal services authorities may be deputed to work in the legal aid clinics for assisting the lawyers and the beneficiaries of free legal aid services. As these paralegal volunteers gain experience, the services of these PLVs can be used for drafting simple petitions or, for example, notices, or for example, answers to the notices, etc. Or, for example, some kinds of letters which can be sent to the government offices, etc. Paralegal volunteers may be encouraged to obtain diploma and degrees in law for the betterment of their prospectus in the long run. But once any paralegal volunteer who comes from the legal background gets his or her final degree and becomes a lawyer, he or she may not continue to be a paralegal volunteer. He or she may then get enrolled and he or she may then get nominated for the panel of advocates. Trained paralegal volunteers may be deputed to the legal aid clinics in law colleges and law universities for assisting the beneficiaries and for interacting with the students and the members of the faculties. As we can see here that the paralegal volunteers may or may not come from legal background, but paralegal volunteers may decide to have the legal diploma or, for example, legal degree, etc., for their own benefit, for their own good, so that they can contribute more towards the cause of free legal aid. The scheme further says lawyers and paralegal volunteers rendering service in the legal aid clinics shall record their attendance in the register maintained in the legal aid clinic. This is a mandatory function for the paralegal volunteers and also the panel advocates. There shall be a register in every legal aid clinic for recording the name and address of the beneficiaries of the legal services, the seekers of the legal services, the name of the lawyer who rendered the services in the legal aid clinic, the nature of the service that is rendered, the remarks of the lawyers, signatures of the beneficiaries and the seekers of the legal aid, and also the lawyers. The records of the legal aid clinics shall be under the custody of the Secretary of the Taluk Legal Services Authority or Committee or District Legal Services Authority having the territorial jurisdiction. The secretaries should also inspect the legal aid clinic, the registrars, etc., to see how the nearest legal services institution having territorial jurisdiction shall be the custodian of all the registers, and it shall be the duty of the paralegal volunteers and the lawyers of the legal aid clinic to hand over the registers to such legal service institutions whenever called for. Now the question is whether law students can create legal aid clinics in the law schools. The answer is yes. Students' legal aid clinics set up by the law colleges and law universities definitely can provide free legal aid to the beneficiaries. However, such clinics or such free legal aid clinics which are run by the students must be run by the students of the final year, and they may render legal services only on condition that these legal aid clinics are monitored, these legal aid clinics are run under the guidance of faculty members, and the junior students may assist such senior students. The students of law colleges and law universities may also make use of other legal aid clinics established under this scheme to render their pro bono services, and also to learn about the free legal aid scheme, to learn about the free legal aid activities, and also to learn about the Legal Services Authorities Act. Law students of the law colleges or universities may also be engaged to adopt villages, especially in the remote areas. Such villages may be used for organizing legal aid camps. Such students may also make use of the legal aid clinics set up under this scheme in consultation with the legal services institution like the DLSA, etc., in that area to organize for many other legal aid related functions. The students in the legal aid clinic may seek the assistance of the paralegal volunteers in the legal aid clinics. One more function that the students of the law colleges, law universities, etc. should perform is to conduct surveys of the legal services required for the people of that area, including identification of their problems which call for social justice litigation. From such kinds of surveys, researches, etc., the law students can come up pro bono for filing any public interest litigation or for even counseling, guiding, advising, etc., the beneficiaries, the villagers, or the people who are living in a socio-economically backward situation to come to the free legal aid clinics to go to the district legal services authority, etc., for executing their rights. The student legal aid clinics shall send the reports to the State Legal Services Authority with the copies of the legal services institutions having territorial jurisdiction and also to the DLSA concerned. Besides, the student legal aid clinics in the rural areas, law colleges and law universities may also set up permanent legal aid clinics in their own colleges or universities, etc. And while doing so, they must also inform the State Legal Services Authority and also the DLSA. The State Legal Services Authority shall render the required technical assistance for such legal aid clinics and shall coordinate with the legal aid clinics so established. Thank you.